King Pharaoh.
Hey, we're back. Thanks again for joining us. It's your boy Sierra here with Papa, Michael, Ty, and Sashay. All of us in the building. We've been talking about, all night what it's like to be a black gay man in America. We just finished speaking about the stigma on HIV/AIDS. I'm sorry, I had to go to the vaccine thing because it's like how you got a vaccine for coronavirus that just came out in 2020, but you ain't got no vaccine for a virus that's been out since 1981. But anyway, we're gonna move forward. We're gonna talk about modern medicine. Kiss. Okay.
The whole.
The views expressed here.
Okay. For the blind motherfuckers who can't see.
So we want to talk about what it's like inside the work environment, employment. So I don't know who wants to start off, but let's talk about through the whole process, the resume, the interview, the first day at the job, the bathroom breaks, the lunch breaks. Like, is there any type of discrimination going on there? Is it harder to get jobs because you're black and you're gay, or do you just got to keep it on the low at the workplace? You don't tell nobody because you don't want no problems. Like, who want to go first?
I think that it depends where you're applying for or whoever is doing the interviews. Honestly, I think a lot of it plays with favoritism. I think that there's a lot of people who hire gay people naturally because they know that they're friendly, they can attract customers, things like that. You have a lot of other people who aren't that secure with themselves, to just be so out and about in front, where they have to put in twice as much work as the regular straight man do, I have an extensive resume my damn self, but I don't remember ever once using my sexuality as a way to gain a job. You know what I mean? I use my professionalism in order to do that, And I find it to be just as equally hard as just the regular man that goes into to apply for the same job. You have a lot of people who go to school and have these high degrees and all this other stuff, and the nigga with the GED is the one who get the job first, It's like, man, I don't really think it's a discriminatory thing. I think it's just, favoritism pretty much. Whoever gets in where you fit in.
Well, I have to disagree a little bit with some of that. I have had many jobs. Being who I am and what I've been through. I've really had different experiences, and I do agree that it depends on the job and it depends on I think it's a lot of different factors when it comes to that. But I do. And I can honestly say, even here in New York City, I have been denied jobs. Even, I dress in three-piece suits, go to, very professionally. I have a lot of retail experience. I have years of retail experience. I have a lot of job backings. I have had many jobs in many different areas of life. But one thing, moving out here, I realized that it was the most hardest to get a job in retail, me being me. Because and mainly it starts with my walk. My walk is my loudest statement, and even because when I talk, I'm very professional. I have a vernacular that would surprise the world. I am very intellectually inclined, but it's when it's obvious and you step into an environment, like for example, I was applying to Family Dollar at the time. I was living in Brownsville. It's like right around the corner on I forgot what street.
Brownsville.
And it's right by the train station, right by the 3 train. And so it was very much. I had the applied. They liked my application. They liked everything about my application. They called me in for an interview. I wore this nice. I remember very distinctively black and white checkered 3-piece suit. It was the last suit I had that I moved here with, and it was the only thing I really had that was professional enough. And I had shaved the day before. I had, got my hair done. I had pretty much looked presentable to, step into anyone's interview. And I interviewed with the head manager at the time. She was the lady. She was very nice, very, very respectful, very, professional. However, she wasn't the person that did the hiring. She was the only person who was told to interview me. Mm-hmm. But as soon as I walked in the store, I could see and feel, even without looking, there goes another queen. And there they go trying to get a job here. And you could feel the dynamic in the store was just, we've been working here forever. We cool, we family. We don't want no new people. Like, even though they needed the help,
you felt discriminated against.
Very, because even the lady was like, you have no reason not to be hired. You have a great resume. You have plenty of years of experience. And the job position I was applying for clearly was in my repertoire of work. And so for me to not get a call back on when I called them, they was like, oh, well, they just didn't. The head manager over me did not want to hire you because he said you didn't have the je ne sais quoi to bring in customers. And I said, what are you talking about?
Got you. What about you, Mike? Did you how was your experience in the employment on the workforce?
Well, my experience in the workforce, it wasn't always so good because I mean I'm just me being me. I mean I'm just I don't give a fuck guy, and because I walked around with that attitude still to this day, and I'm proud of it. And a lot of people, they took heed to that reality because they felt a little bit kind of like unbothered. But I got along with people who I got along with. I mean, it's just that the overall aspect of it is that I always noticed that, everybody had a lot to say behind my back. And that's when I was like, this shit has really got to stop because I heard a lot of damaging stories. And I'm like, why don't these same people exactly tell me this in front of my damn face?
Well, let me ask you this: like, is it mostly like coworkers, or is this like management and above? Like, where is it coming from?
This is coworkers.
So people who make the same amount that you make.
That even led to even managers dealing with the same issue because of the simple fact is that they never found anybody who expresses themselves the way they do, because the way how I exactly go around, I just don't care what the hell it is. I'm just going to be me for who I am. Mm-hmm. And the fact is that I didn't go along with the hiding flow of what I'm not. They couldn't see past that. Because they got used to, I guess, people coming in there who were just afraid to see exactly be who the heck they are. And I didn't take none of that. I mean, I'm from fucking New York. I mean, that's just the way I am. You don't see what you see is what you get. And that's what I am. So I never really gave a damn about too much, but I always felt is that especially for the talking behind my back problem, that was the issue because of the simple fact is that I wanted to kind of have a friendly relationship around other people, but other people were warned about who I was, and I'm like, and that kind of made that kind of turned very sour really fast.
So it's like, and I don't want to take anything out of context, but it's like almost you feel like if a person who went to jail for rape or something and they come out and they're a registered sex offender and then you come to a job and it's like everyone knows, oh, that's the guy who was, it's kind of like that kind of feeling, like,
it's a little bit like that, but also just off the bat, just about being who I am, because I mean, I don't have to put on a sign that says I'm gay.
Right.
But I mean, it's like, other people, I guess they took into the initiative that I'm going to exactly be doing things to them that are making them feel uncomfortable. And it's this whole notion of what I'm going to be doing to them.
Yeah, because it's funny. It's like, because before they even know about your sexuality, it's like we could go to watch the game together and all of this, and as soon as they find out about your sexuality, it's like, nah, no, look at me. Like, wait, what? Like, wait, what?
To me,
where did that come from?
Applying for any job, it was always hard, because it was like any human being. Not every day you wake up and you have that confidence to walk into the place and sell it like you would tomorrow or yesterday, But even like successfully gaining a job, a lot of days I never like to present my sexuality, in any job. I want to do my job and let that stand by itself. Right. There's a lot of days when I would go there and people know that I was gay and they turn around and, oh, you're too cute to be gay. Or, girls flirting and, oh, we're going to turn you back straight. And, if I push that away, then it's, oh, now it becomes a problem, So it varies pretty much, Like I said, depending where you are, what you're applying for, the people you're around. Like, it's not always as easy,
I mean, I found it kind of interesting because when I first started my nonprofit, a lot of people were concerned about my sexuality and the fact that I dealt with kids, and I was like, I never understood what the correlation was, because I'm pretty sure there's plenty of teachers in the school system that are gay. Like, I'm pretty sure, and not to mention, I mean, statistically speaking, I wish I had all of the statistics so I could be 100% factual when I say it, but I'm pretty sure the majority of people who turn out to be child molesters don't even identify as gay. Like a lot of them be like, so I just never understood
full families, everything.
I never understood the correlation, but apparently it was there. What about you in the workforce, Ty? You had any experience?
I've only had my own company, so
excuse me.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
I ain't got time to do it.
Okay. I got okay.
No, but one of the things that became an issue was when we got into 2018, we got into the Forbes Council, and when I was the face on that profile, and I was already Dateable, which is a gay matchmaking company here that we started. And when that was at the forefront, we had people that were kind of commenting on just the overall brand and aesthetic of the family. Because in every business there's a contract that says there's a code of ethics that's there that says you can't do certain things or you represent the company.
Right.
So they tried to make it seem as though because I was an openly gay male that I couldn't have my face on the Forbes website to do what we were doing. So that's been the most of that I've had to deal with. But other than that, it's just been smooth.
But I mean, that's even on a grander level than somebody who's paying you $15 an hour. And they would have. And there's because you're talking about like major contracts, and like that's a lot of a lot more money.
They wanted to pull our articles down.
In a case like that, is that something that a person would like pursue legal actions, or do you just take it with a grain of salt and move on and say I'll find something else?
Oh no, you take the more public the face, the more they don't want it to happen, so they want to shut it up as quickly as they can.
So they'll settle.
Oh yeah, exactly. So the more you can handle without saying anything, or not going to the media or something, the more you just keep it to yourself, the more power they get. So the more if someone says, it puts them in a different position of power. So when I made that first little threat with that demand letter, they closed out really quick. So
of course they would.
Okay. Right. So
for me, I think where the jobs today they have no really people to work anymore because they need people to work because of the corona. But so they're probably willing to hire any and everyone, even if they're qualified or not. I mean, look how they need CDL truck drivers to take
it's
chips.
not about qualification. It's just the only qualification you need today is to take the vaccine, right?
They're making.
Hey, you stupid enough to take this? Yeah. Come on, we got a job for you.
I think if the world gets back,
that's exactly what it is. Like, you dumb enough? Come on, we got a job. We got a position right now.
I think that's another reason I did get vaccinated because I like to work. I like to make money, and until I have my own company as someone else,
it's ironic. No, I'm telling you, that's the main reason I did get vaccinated because I don't have to deal with that.
Exactly.
Like, when you run your own business, you don't have to worry about no kind of things.
I do feel like that people are very judgmental.
And I have less than 100 employees.
People are a judgmental period. I think which I heard before that I have to agree with is you can judge, just don't condemn.
Right.
And if people understand that in its simplest form, it just means you're going to have a judgment of everything in life. Right. You're just going to. A judgment is basically a viewpoint of what you're seeing, what you experience, what you know. And it's not to say that you should hold someone accountable for who they are, what they do, how they do it. At the end of the day, I mean, if it has nothing to do with one has nothing to do with the other. Why are you judging?
I mean, there was a rapper, Piles, who just went hot on his Instagram or whatever because he was saying about how he understands what the stuff is, but he like, but you shouldn't dictate what people should do with their stuff. So, for instance, if you come to my house and I have a sign up or if I tell you at the door, you got to take your shoes off before you come in. Mm-hmm. There's only two options there.
Take them off or stay out.
Yeah, you understand? Right. Like, you're not going to negotiate with me about why I should let you wear your shoes in my house. Like, you understand? Like,
that's just like somebody.
It's just very simple. But that's what they're trying to do with the people's businesses now. It's like government is intervening, and that's why we're
that's
very
what they did with the kids. They told parents they couldn't beat their children no more, and I'm like, these children need an ass whooping.
Yeah, parents can't beat their kids, but the police can slam them up against the wall.
Right.
Don't get started with that. Again, talk about it 569@gmail.com. Appreciate everybody who's tuning in. We're going to be right back. We got just a few more topics, less than a couple. The next one, ironically, Law enforcement. What is it like to be black, gay in America and dealing with law enforcement? And that pertains to not just the police, but the courts too.